What's going on, you guys? Team Budget here, bringing you guys a new live duel, and it's Salamangreat against Invoked Shaddoll. And I had a little poll on Instagram. If you guys aren't following, you guys should follow. Link down in the description. And a majority of people chose Invoked Shaddoll to win, so you'll end up seeing the results here. But I want to take this time to ask you guys to subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet. A majority of you guys are not subscribed, and it will be pretty nice to have you guys in the budget fam. So make sure to subscribe, hit that like button if you enjoyed, and comment down below who you think won. So we have Brian as a Salamangreat player, and he first starts out by summoning a Jack Jaguar, and then he special summons Bailings by linking off the Jack Jaguar. So Brian's an experienced Salamangreat player, and if you guys haven't checked out his deck profiles on the channel, you definitely should. He has a lot of intel he could share with you guys, and you guys could probably learn from him. So if you guys are starting to begin to play Salamangreat, so he ends up searching the field spell for Salit, and he Pot of Desires. So something's telling me he really needed it, or he already has Gazelle in hand. So he's just fanning what he banished, and I don't think he banished that Gazelle like I said earlier. So he's gonna end up drawing his two cards. So he ends up drawing a Signet Mining and a Spinny, which is pretty damn good. He could just dump the Spinny with the Signet Mining if he needed to. But he ends up activating Signet Mining, and if I'm correct, he dumped that Spinny. I'm not sure because I cannot see due to that blur. Not blur, but the glare. Sorry, I tried fixing that. That's why I got a new arrangement, but I couldn't fix it. So he ends up summoning that Gazelle, special summoning that Gazelle, and he dumps with the Gazelle. He links into a Salamangreat Wolf. So he's gonna end up activating the Salamangreat field spell, which allows him to reincarnate his link monsters, and now he's gonna reincarnate into another wolf. And after that, he's gonna activate Jack Jaguar's effect, which allows him to shuffle one of his Salamangreat monsters, and he ends up choosing Bailings to special summon itself. And now he chains Wolf's effect to add a spell or trap back to his hand from the grave. He ends up adding the will that he dumped with Gazelle. And if you guys don't know what will does, it's practically a monster reborn for your Salamangreat monsters. He activates Spinny's effect to special summon itself from the grave, and he has a response, and he activates Nibiru and just stomps on Brian's board. The person to the right is Jonathan, by the way, and yeah, he just activated Nibiru right now before full combo is about to occur. So yeah, I kind of messed him up, but he didn't know about the will, and so he was able to bring back a Salamangreat monster, and he passes his turn to Jonathan now. Essentially, he has the board right now since he Nibiru'd. So now he's gonna go ahead and activate El Shaddoll Fusion, which allows him to fusion summon a Shaddoll monster from his extra deck. So he uses Noel, Shaddoll Ariel, and Squamata, and Squamata allows him to, I think, but he's gonna do chain links. So he adds a Shaddoll monster, and Ariel allows him to banish 2 cards from his opponent's grave. So he ends up banishing a Bailings and a Wolf from Brian's grave, and the Al Capone allows him to negate a card on the field. He ends up negating will. With Squamata, he dumps a Wendy, and Wendy lets him put a Shaddoll monster face down from his deck onto the field. So he ends up going into battle phase and attacks with the Nibiru to the Nibiru token. And then with Al Capone, he ends up attacking the Jack Jaguar. And if you guys do not know what Gravity Controller does, which he just summoned right now, it allows you to put an extra monster that your opponent controls back to the extra deck. And Brian ends up activating a Phantasme in hand, and he splashes on the field to draw 2 cards. Jonathan activates Al Capone's effect to add a Shaddoll spell or trap from his deck with the cost of discarding a card, and he ends up discarding a Shaddoll Fusion. Don't know if that was a good idea, but he ends up setting the trap, and he passes it to Brian. Brian ends up summoning a Lady Debug, and he ends up linking it away for a Bailings, and he activates Will of the Salamangreat. Again, lets him res a Salamangreat monster from his graveyard. And to think that Brian was on the verge of losing, Jonathan ends up activating the Shaddoll trap card and lets him bring back Al Capone from grave, and he ends up negating the field spell card that lets him reincarnate. So Brian's stuck and he cannot reincarnate. So he ends up special summoning the Salamangreat Foxy with Will from hand. And he ends up linking it into a Salamangreat Wolf. Remember, he's locked and he cannot reincarnate. Special summons Gazelle from hand since a Salamangreat monster ended up going to the grave when he linked. So he dumps Roar from deck, and now he's activating Foxy's effect to special itself, but it has to discard a Salamangreat monster. And he ends up popping his own field. I do not know why, but now he goes into another wolf. Yeah, and he goes into another wolf, and now Jonathan has a response and he activates Call by the Grave, and he calls by the grave Brian's other Salamangreat wolf. And that is just like Brian's having a bad day. That's it, because Jonathan doesn't let him play at all whatsoever. So he ends up activating Jaguar's effect. He shuffles back one of his Salamangreat Link monsters back into the extra deck to special summon itself. And now he activates Falco's effect to bounce back one of his Salamangreat monsters. I think it was Foxy. To summon itself back from grave. So Brian does the unthinkable and attacks into Gravity Controller to shuffle back the wolf and also the Gravity Controller. So with Phantasme, he attacks the face down, and it's a beast, so it allows him to draw 2 cards and discard 1. And if you did not see there, he drew a Magical Meltdown for next turn, so that is pretty good. But he ends up dumping the Mind Control. I guess the Meltdown is more beneficial to him. So Brian passes his turn not being able to do anything. And nobody wants to lose this game, so they're going super tryhard and playing as hard as they can. So Jonathan ends up tribute summoning to set a Shaddoll monster. Obviously we do not know what it is right now. He ends up flipping it, and it's another beast. He ends up flipping it by removing the trap card from grave that he activated earlier. It allows him to flip one of his Shaddoll monsters face up, and he draws 2 and discards 1. He ends up throwing a Nibiru into grave, and he activates Magical Meltdown to search for Alistair the Invoker. And this is a misplay, and obviously I only caught it, but he ends up normal summoning again the Alistair. It allows him to search for an invocation directly from the deck and add it to his hand. So now he's gonna end up link summoning into a Cross Sheep, I believe. Yeah, he ends up going into a Cross Sheep. Very classy for Shaddoll decks. He ends up activating Invocation. He banishes 1 from his grave and banishes 1 from his opponent's. I did not see what I think he only banished the 1 Gazelle that he has. Fusion into Purgatrio. And since he fusion summoned under Cross Sheep, he's able to special summon a level 4 from his graveyard onto the field. And he ends up special summoning Wendy. She's one of the new ones that came out in the Shaddoll structure deck. So Jonathan now ends up activating Mind Control. And Mind Control is so strong. It could take any of your opponent's monsters, and against Salamangreats it really hurts if you take away their link. But he ends up choosing the Phantasme. If it was up to me, I would have chosen the Jaguar. That way I do a rank 4 play with Wendy and Jaguar. But it does not matter because he is linking them away. And what would be the only thing right now to link away into? A Borosword. And Brian drops a goddamn Nibiru on my boy Jonathan right when he was about to close the game. And I think this is Brian's way of, giving back that payback, since Jonathan ended up Nibiruing him early in the game. And obviously Brian has the control right now. He's able to summon the Primal Being token, and since he tributed his Falco sets back his field spell. And yeah, that's pretty broke. He just broke his board with 1 card. He activates Invocation to shuffle it back into his deck and add the banished Alistair Invoker back to hand. So now he ends up normal summoning a Foxy, and he links it away for a Baylings. Now he activated Will to res back the Jaguar, and he links it again for a Wolf. Now he's gonna activate Jaguar's effect to shuffle back the Baylings and special summon Jaguar. So right now he has total control of the field. There's no way he's losing this anymore, since he just came back from something that shouldn't be possible. Brian ends up special summoning the Foxy by discarding the Falco to pop Magical Meltdown. That way his opponent has no comeback. He sets one of his trap cards face down. He activates his field spell card, and he's linking away 3 of his monsters for a link 4, which is gonna be Pyro Phoenix. Nobody wants to use this card, but this card is so broken. He relinks it to blow up his opponent's whole field. So now his opponent is vulnerable and empty. He ends up attacking with the Pyro Phoenix and the Nibiru. The Nibiru is like at 5,000, and the Pyro Phoenix is at, I don't know, like 24, I think. I could be wrong, but yeah, so it wasn't enough for game. His opponent normal summons Alistair the Invoker, in which Brian responds with an Ash Blossom. At this point, you might as well just give up because you did not even get to search your invocation for a fusion. And he links it away for an Almirage. I don't know what an Almirage would do now, but that's pretty much it. I'm 100% sure that's pretty much it. That's all he has. Yeah, definitely. And he passes his turn to Brian, and Brian, knowing that he has game, he goes to battle and attacks, and there you go. That's Brian's game right there. It looked like one of the toughest matches they've probably faced so far, and I'm pretty sure they had fun. So now we're gonna start off with Jonathan. So Jonathan opened his hand. He's going first, and he's gonna end up activating Magical Meltdown first hand, and that's kind of what you want to see. So he ends up searching the Alistair the Invoker, and now he's going to normal summon the Alistair the Invoker, and he's going to search for the invocation, and the invocation is a great start for Shaddolls. Just get a fusion summon into whatever they need to. So now he's gonna link away the Alistair for an Almirage, and he is going to activate invocation to dump a beast, which he gets a draw off of, and to banish the Alistair. So now he's gonna end up summoning Cayuga, I think that's how you say it. But Brian does have a response, and he banishes the invocation with the DD Crow. So now he sets 2 and passes. So now it's Brian's turn, and he Gamma Seals the Cayuga, which was a good play actually. So he summons Spinny, and obviously he's gonna link away. He probably must have bricked or something, because usually you don't summon the Spinny, but that's all he had. And Jonathan responds with an Artifact Sanctum to special summon a Scythe from his deck to the field. What Scythe does is that it doesn't allow his opponent to special summon from the extra deck anymore. So Brian is pretty much locked out, and that's mostly what his deck relies on, and he is stuck. So he ends up activating a Will of the Salamangreat to special summon from the grave a Spinny, but he's still locked out, so he can't do anything. So he ends up going battle phase, attacking the Almirage with Baylinks, and that concludes his turn. So now it's Jonathan's turn. He ends up drawing, and he draws into another Alistair the Invoker. He searches the invocation, and he links away the Alistair and Gamma Seal for Alistair the something in Mad Invoker. I forgot his name. He activates invocation, banishes the Almirage, banishes the Alistair to summon Trio. Now they have 30 seconds on the time. He attacks the Baylinks. He attacks the Spinny for piercing damage. He attacks with the Invoker of Madness directly, and he attacks with Scythe directly, and that's when time is called. So yeah, they end up having another tie. Sorry for you guys who thought that Salamangreat won or Invoked Shaddoll won, but yeah, the previous live duel ended in a tie too. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and keep it budget, guys. Just keep it budget, dude. You guys already know, keep it budget. I'll see you guys next time.